Welcome. Today we're stepping into a different sort of space. Think of it like a landscape made of dreams, deep feelings. We're hoping to maybe uncover some hidden truths.
Yes. Exploring an inner world, you could say.
Exactly.
And what we're observing is, well, it's this vivid dreamscape. There's a room. It almost seems to breathe. The shadows shift like they have their own rhythm. And there's this persistent feeling of something missing, a kind of phantom pain.
Phantom pain. Wow. That's a powerful image right there.
It really is. It's so personal, but it resonates, doesn't it? With these big human themes, loss, memory.
And how our bodies hold on to things.
Precisely. How the body holds stories the mind might, well, try to forget.
This room you mentioned, it sounds like more than just walls. You said it breathes. And there's a humming silence.
It feels like a vessel, perhaps.
Yeah.
Holding something profound, something deeply felt, but maybe not fully understood in waking life.
Like that quiet just before a big wave hits.
Exactly that kind of tension. The dream setting often mirrors the dreamer's inner state, you see.
Ah, okay.
So this silence that hums, it can easily be the echo of unresolved feelings, a sort of tension just under the surface.
Right.
And the dreamer feels both solid and, well, fluid, which speaks to how elusive our sense of self can be in dreams, especially when dealing with loss.
So the walls, the shadows, they're not just scenery.
No, they're part of the feeling itself. They embody it.
And the phantom pain, that's clearly not just physical, is it? It sounds like it's tied up with memory, with longing.
Oh, absolutely. Reaching for something that's gone, even knowing it's gone.
There's a strange comfort in that sometimes, isn't there?
There can be. It's a really striking image of how we grapple with loss. Like the act of remembering, even the painful memory, keeps the lost thing somehow present.
Yeah.
You know, the phantom limb phenomena, where pain stays after a limb is gone.
Sure.
Well, here it becomes this potent metaphor for any big absence, really. A relationship ending, a chapter closing, even a shift in who we think we are.
Okay, I see.
So reaching for it, knowing it's not there, it just highlights how much that loss impacts us and how we're always trying to adapt.
So the pain isn't just about what's missing.
It's about the presence of that absence. It's enduring.
And you mentioned objects in this room, a splintered chair, a glove, a cracked mirror. They sound like clues.
Exactly. Like fragments, each holding a piece of a story, waiting.
That glove. You said it was intact, untouched?
Yes. Lying there. There's a real sadness in its stillness, isn't there? A reminder of a touch that can't happen anymore.
Wow, yeah.
Each object, it's a focal point, a potential path to understanding.
So the chair, maybe instability, or past trauma.
Could be. Something that left its mark. And the glove, waiting for a hand. It represents something cherished, maybe preserved in memory, but gone, irretrievably lost.
And the mirror, cracked.
Cracked, yes. Spider webbing across it. Still reflecting, though, which might suggest, well, a fragmented sense of self, or a view of the past that's fractured, but still offers glimpses of truth.
So not random items at all.
Not at all. They're anchors in our emotional landscape,
Yeah.
deeply symbolic.
Okay, the mirror, in the reflection where an arm might be, you said there wasn't just emptiness, there was light.
Yes, light. Instead of a void, illumination.
What could that mean? That's such a contrast.
It's a key moment, I think, a powerful paradox.
Right.
The light appearing in the space of absence, it could signify transformation, maybe even potential for healing coming from the wound itself.
Not just filling the void, but born from it.
Precisely. It suggests that even within loss, there can be unexpected strength, clarity, a different kind of presence emerging from what's gone.
The feeling that the room itself knows the dreamer, holds secrets, regrets, that really underlines the idea that our inner worlds, our dreams, aren't just random noise.
No, they're deeply personal landscapes, shaped by experience.
And those whispers you mentioned, first seeming external, but then taking root inside.
It shows how profoundly these unexpressed things can affect us. Dreams often act as a kind of repository for our subconscious thoughts, our emotions, the stuff we don't always face head-on in waking life.
So the whispers are those hidden parts making themselves felt.
Subtly, maybe, but persistently, yes. So the room isn't just a container, it's participating in this inner conversation.
There's a question echoing in the room. Why does it hurt? That feels so basic, fundamental.
It is.
And the idea that it might not be punishment or just a reminder, but something woven into who we are, That's unsettling.
It is unsettling. It challenges how we usually think about pain, doesn't it? As something purely bad.
Right.
Instead, it suggests that maybe this pain, this phantom ache, could be an intrinsic part of us, connected to our history, our experiences, maybe even our capacity for growth, empathy even.
So asking why does it hurt isn't just complaining, it's
an invitation
Yeah.
to understand a fundamental part of ourselves.
the room also shifts, changes. Time becomes fluid.
Yes, elastic. It mirrors that illogical, shifting nature of dreams, doesn't it?
It really does. And the sense that understanding needs courage,
Yeah.
that we might not be ready to face it, that feels true for confronting deep wounds.
Absolutely. The dream environment's instability reflects our own inner turbulence when we get close to difficult emotional truths. And needing courage just highlights how vulnerable we feel when facing our pain, the stories it holds, the parts we instinctively shy away from,
So the shifting room reflects our own resistance.
and the bravery it takes to actually look within. Yes.
But even with the discomfort, there's a feeling of being held, like you can't really leave the room.
That's a powerful observation.
It's like the pain, even though it's unwelcome, holds a key, connects us to something vital about ourselves.
Yes. That compulsion to stay suggests a deep unconscious need. A need for understanding, for resolution.
So even though it hurts,
There's this inherent knowing that it contains crucial information, a message that needs decoding. So not being able to leave is an imprisonment,
it's seeking something.
something vital.
Exactly. And the language of this pain, it's not words, is it? It's sensations, impressions, bypassing logic.
Raw sensation, yes.
It speaks of things lost, things found, paths taken or not taken, loves embraced and let go.
It's like the body and the subconscious have their own ancient way of communicating.
A language we often just ignore in our busy lives.
We do. The dream really highlights the body's role in carrying and expressing emotions that maybe aren't accessible through conscious thought or words.
That deep connection between physical and emotional selves.
Deep and often overlooked. So yes, the pain speaks a language older than words.
Outside the window, there's a moon, described as bruised and low.
Bruised and low yet, it casts this pool of moonlight. And the moonlight offers a surprising warmth.
Warmth from a bruised moon, that's another striking contrast.
It is. It suggests that even within darkness, maybe past hurts, there can be unexpected comfort, something gentle, maybe even healing.
So the bruised moon could be vulnerability, past wounds.
Exactly. And the warm light offers a glimmer of hope, solace, even right there in the context of pain and loss.
It shows that tenderness can still be present, even in dark times.
Yes, the bruised moon doesn't cancel the warmth. It actually emphasizes how unexpected and precious that warmth is.
There's a shift then in the question from why does it hurt
Yeah.
to what does the hurt want to tell me?
Ah, yes. That's a fundamental reframing.
It feels like moving from just suffering passively.
To active inquiry, yes.
Yeah.
From feeling like a victim to searching for understanding.
It's like finally starting to listen to the pain instead of just trying to shut it up.
That's a crucial turning point.
Yeah.
It signifies engaging with the pain, recognizing it not just as an affliction, but as a messenger
Carrying vital information.
about our inner state.
Yeah.
So the question evolves, doesn't it? From a lament to an invitation for dialogue with ourselves.
And this image, a river flowing beneath the ache, an ancient longing that's forgotten its own source.
Such a poetic way to capture it, isn't it? A deep-seated yearning, something almost primal. It speaks to the idea that some of our deepest feelings might stem from really early experiences, or maybe even inherited emotional patterns. So deep, their original cause isn't conscious anymore.
A longing that's just part of us.
Almost like a fundamental part of our being.
Yeah.
Yes. So the river represents this current of feeling flowing way beneath our everyday awareness.
Then the room comes back, but it's lined with echoes. Laughter, whispers, cries from another time.
It emphasizes how our past experiences just keep resonating within us,
Shaping our present.
shaping our present reality, often in ways we don't even realize. The dream space becomes this repository of personal history,
Right.
where past experiences and the emotions tied to them keep exerting their influence, unconsciously coloring how we see things, how we react.
So the echoes are reminders that we carry our history inside.
We absolutely do.
Then the question comes up, what was really lost? Was it a physical limb or something? Less tangible, a piece of oneself given up somewhere.
It raises that possibility, doesn't it, of self-abandonment as a deep source of pain.
Self-abandonment.
It makes you think about the compromises we make, the sacrifices, and how they might lead to feeling fragmented or losing connection with our authentic selves.
So the lost limb could symbolize a part of ourselves we've disowned or neglected.
It's a powerful possibility within this dream language, yes.
And the glove, it shifts, briefly holds the shape of a child's hand.
A smaller, younger hand, yes. That connection to childhood feels incredibly significant, doesn't it?
It does, and then there's a memory link to it about learning to suppress desire.
That feels like a potent link back to the persistent ache.
How so?
Well, the image of the child's hand in the glove, it really underscores how lasting the impact of early experiences can be. How we learn to manage or maybe bury our natural desires, our impulses.
And that can cause conflict later, pain.
Often, yes. Inner conflict, pain later in life. So that fleeting image of the child reminds us where some of our deepest aches might have started.
So the pain in this landscape isn't something new, it's been growing.
Perhaps feeding on unspoken truths, unmet needs over time.
Yes.
Almost like a physical weight of accumulated emotion.
Precisely. The phantom pain becomes a symptom of deeper, unresolved emotional issues that have built up. It's the body signaling what the mind might have tried to ignore.
A messenger of those burdens.
Exactly.
Then, sexuality enters the picture. Subtly.
Subtly, but undeniably, yes. The glove trembles, the mirror shows blurred bodies. It speaks to those really intricate connections, doesn't it, between our sense of self, our desires, and how we relate to others.
It adds another layer.
It highlights another fundamental part of being human, which can be a source of profound joy, but also deep pain, often shaped by society, insecurities, relationship experiences.
So desire joins this complex inner landscape.
It does.
And desire is shown as a trickster, offering promises it can't keep. That feels very relatable.
Doesn't it? That constant pull towards something that might just leave us feeling empty in the end?
It speaks to the often illusory nature of seeking validation outside ourselves. The tendency to look for fulfillment in ways that don't really nourish our deepest needs.
A reminder to look beyond fleeting desires.
For more lasting satisfaction, yes. So the trickster desire points to that gap between just longing and actual fulfillment.
The idea that absence can be fullness, disguised as loss, that's paradoxical.
Deeply resonant, though, isn't it?
It is. That what feels empty might actually hold all our unacknowledged longings waiting.
Waiting to be recognized, yes.
Yeah.
It suggests our deepest desires don't just vanish when they're unfulfilled, they stay within us, contributing to that sense of lack, that incompleteness we feel as loss.
So the absence isn't empty.
It's pregnant with possibility, or at least with feeling.
The cost of freedom, potentially unraveling our identity, that's a scary thought.
It is frightening. The fear that if we really confront our pain, dismantle it, we might just feel lost, unmoored.
Why is that?
It speaks to that inherent resistance we have to change, doesn't it? Even change that promises healing, because it means letting go of the familiar.
Even if the familiar includes pain.
Exactly. Our identity can get really tangled up with our struggles, so freedom can feel like stepping off a cliff into the unknown.
And love, presented as both a gift and a potential wound, turning inward into shame and regret. That's poignant.
It is. It describes how deeply love can get entangled with negative emotions, how past relationship hurts can just linger.
Yeah.
It acknowledges how vulnerable love makes us, and how experiences of love, loss, betrayal, they can leave lasting emotional scars, manifesting as self-blame, remorse.
So love's shadow side colors the inner landscape too.
It certainly can.
The moonlight again,
Yeah.
casting shapes like faces, hands, wings, beckoning us to look deeper.
Almost inviting us into these feelings. Yet there's a warning too. Clarity can be cruel.
Cruel, how so?
It's as if the subconscious is showing possibilities, but also cautioning us about the intensity of what we might find.
Yeah.
The dream invites exploration, but it also acknowledges that we might confront truths that are really difficult, painful to accept. It suggests self-discovery needs both courage and self-compassion.
So the beckoning moonlight also has a shadow of caution.
Yes. Handle with care, perhaps.
Ultimately, there's this realization the answers aren't outside, they're within, in the spaces between thought and feeling.
That's a powerful call for introspection, isn't it?
It really is, to turn towards the ache, not away from it.
It emphasizes that healing and understanding come from within. True insight isn't from external sources, but from exploring our own inner landscape, paying attention to thoughts and emotions.
The answers lie within the felt experience.
Precisely.
And the pain itself, presented as proof of being alive, the echo of a cry that won't fade.
That reframes it completely, doesn't it?
It does, not as a defect, but as a testament to our capacity to feel deeply, to having truly lived.
It offers a much more compassionate perspective on pain, recognizing it as just an inherent part of being human, a sign of emotional depth, resilience even.
So the pain isn't a flaw.
It's a marker of our vitality.
As the room starts to dissolve again, there's this understanding that the answers are in the ache itself, not just intellectual understanding.
But a deeper, more intuitive knowing, something the soul understands.
Yeah.
It highlights the importance of, well, emotional intelligence, the wisdom held in our feelings, often beyond what rational thought can grasp. True understanding comes from engaging with emotions on that deeper level.
The soul speaks through sensation.
Beautifully put. Yes.
And the final thought as it fades, the room lingers as part of us. The pain isn't an enemy anymore, but a guide, pointing towards deeper truths.
That's a beautiful and hopeful way to approach persistent emotional pain, isn't it?
It really is.
It suggests a fundamental shift in perspective, from seeing pain as something to get rid of, to recognizing its potential as a source of guidance, self-discovery, on the journey towards wholeness.
So the pain transforms from antagonist to ally.
Or at least a guide, yes.
Then, as dawn breaks in the dream, the pain changes, from a scream to a whisper.
Which perhaps suggests that true healing isn't always the complete absence of pain.
But it's transformation, becoming gentler.
It's gentle, gradual transformation. Yes, that feels like a very nuanced, realistic understanding of recovery.
Yeah, not just flipping a switch.
Exactly. Healing isn't always about complete eradication. It's often about finding a way to integrate painful experiences, to live with them in a less disruptive, more manageable way.
Healing isn't erasure, it's integration.
Well said.
The objects, the glove, the mirror they dissolve to, leaving just memories and a glimpse of a future self.
Yes, it's as if the tangible symbols fade once they've served their purpose. Their essence, the lessons they held, remain.
Okay.
The dream releases its specific images, but the emotional residue, the potential for growth, that persists into waking life. The symbols have done their work.
The objects dissolve, but their meaning endures. The room then expands, blurs its boundaries, merges with the world.
Yes. And there's a realization that the ache we felt, it's also a compass. Subtly pointing us towards forgotten parts of ourselves, neglected parts, waiting to be rediscovered.
Wow. That's a powerful metaphor, our deepest wounds guiding us towards wholeness.
It reinforces that idea of pain as valuable information, directing our attention to areas inside that need care, healing, integration.
The ache becomes a guide to forgotten territories of the self.
Exactly.
And a memory surfaces, a child at the ocean's edge.
Yes.
Yeah.
A potent symbol, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fear and immense wonder both present.
Definitely. And the question comes up, do we reach out, take their hand?
It brings the focus right back to our own agency, doesn't it? In this ongoing process of inner work, of healing.
Yeah.
It highlights that crucial link between our past selves and our present, and the continuous chance to reconnect with and nurture that inner child, acknowledging their vulnerabilities and their awe.
So the child at the ocean represents our own potential for both.
Fear and wonder, yes.
The dissolving room finally gives way completely to a field, open space.
Vast and open, filled with the sense of life, the promise of possibility.
It feels like moving into freedom, potential for growth, not confined by those walls anymore.
The shift in setting signifies exactly that. A movement towards healing, a more expansive sense of self, no longer restricted by past pain.
The field represents a new landscape of possibility.
Indeed.
And in the distance, a figure, indistinct but familiar.
But perhaps a future version of ourselves?
Yeah.
Or just a more integrated, complete self, offering silent understanding, acceptance.
A powerful image of inner reconciliation.
It suggests moving towards self-acceptance, recognizing all the different parts of ourselves coming together more harmoniously.
The figure embodies our potential for integration.
I think so, yes.
The sun starts to rise on this field, casting shadows that fade but don't vanish entirely.
A gentle reminder, perhaps, that even in healing, the darker parts of our experience are still part of the story.
Right, they don't just disappear.
It acknowledges the complexity of being human. Light and shadow coexist. Healing doesn't mean getting rid of darkness, but accepting it, integrating it into the whole.
The fading shadows remind us of the totality of our experience.
No clip.
Finally, steps are taken into this field, guided by the ache, which is now softened. A gentle signpost.
Yes.
Yes.
Pointing towards the next chapter. It evokes that sense of an ongoing journey, Healing isn't a final stop.
It's a continuous process, growth, self-discovery.
Exactly. It emphasizes the dynamic, evolving nature of it all. And the phantom ache, now softened, serves as a subtle reminder of the journey taken and the path still ahead.
So the softened ache becomes a guide for the future.
In a way, yes.
And the very last feeling, the dream, becomes part of us, woven into our being. And the sense that this isn't an ending, but a new beginning. It leaves you with, a profound sense of hope, doesn't it? And the ongoing nature of it all.
It really does. It underscores the lasting impact of these inner journeys and the potential for continued growth, continued understanding as we move forward. This whole exploration offers, I think, profound insights into pain, loss, and that enduring journey towards wholeness.
A truly evocative exploration. It certainly invites you, the listener, to consider the hidden landscapes within your own inner world.
Indeed. What resonated most with you from this deep dive into the phantom pain and the dream room? Any images or feelings that are lingering?
For me, I think it's that idea of pain as a language, something trying to communicate, not just hurt. And that even in what feels like total absence, like that void, there can be light or new understanding. It definitely makes me want to listen more deeply, to myself.
That's powerful. And for me, perhaps it's the reminder about integration, that healing often means learning to live alongside our experiences, even the painful ones, rather than constantly trying to erase them. Which raises a question for you listening. What persistent feelings might you be overlooking? And what could they be trying to tell you?
That's a really powerful thought to take with us. Thank you for this journey into the symbolic language of dreams and the wisdom held in our deepest feelings.
Thank you.
Until our next exploration.